So, one of the conversations that we have to have with the Indiana Fever is about Natasha Howard, who, I mean, she had a good couple of good games with the Indiana Fever last year. Don't get it twisted. She had a couple of very, very good games. That being said, I don't think the Indiana Fever should bring her back. I don't think they should consider bringing her back because it was just, I've never seen a more inconsistent player. Like, there were games where she was spectacular. Like, if you look at their playing last season, she had, again, 15, 6, and then 26, 6, 11, 9, 6, 13, 15, 4. And the funny thing is that if you're looking at these games, you're looking without Caitlin Clark, 11, 9, albeit 6, 13, 15, and 4 with Caitlin Clark. And you're looking again when Caitlin Clark goes out injured. Caitlin Clark goes out injured suddenly. 13, 15, 16, 11, 21. Caitlin Clark comes back. 4, 9. And then again, 18 and a hammering. 18. Like, up to this point, she has averaged, without Caitlin Clark in the team, something like 14 or 15 points per game up until Caitlin was finished injury. With Caitlin Clark in the team, it's under 10. Like, it is under 10. And in this Atlanta game, if you guys don't remember Caitlin was just not even touched. Caitlin didn't even touch the ball in this game. Caitlin Clark had 11 points, 11.6 assists. She was not playing point guard. It was Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell played point guard for 80% of this game. Caitlin Clark hardly touched the ball because anytime Caitlin Clark got full court press, Steph White didn't let her dribble the floor. And Natasha Howard had 26 points. If you looked at how she played with Caitlin, other than the Dallas game, which she had 18, where they were up 30 against Dallas and she was running in open layups, she got in Caitlin's way and Caitlin got in her way. It was as simple as that. People want to show advanced stats to say, oh yeah, look at Natasha Howard's advanced on-off numbers with Caitlin Clark. Yeah, because a lot of the minutes they played together were against bum teams. Like, no offense. Like, if you look at games where Caitlin played really well, New York sat her ass on the bench. Was it? In fairness, she only had 4 points in this game. Caitlin played 13 minutes. Where is another good game that Caitlin played here? Dallas, in fairness, 24 minutes. Atlanta. If you remember this game here, where the Fever destroyed the Atlanta Dream. If you look at the box score here, Damiris Dantas played basically the whole second half instead of Natasha Howard. The reason why Dantas played nearly the whole second half is because the Fever switched up. The Fever 180'd, and they basically played more of a Caitlin Clark system, and they needed Dantas for spacing. There is a big, and even there was just a consistency problem. Even in the playoffs against the Aces, she was great in game 1. After a 6, 5, 7 in the next 3 games, she was pretty good in the last game because everyone else got hurt. It was like, if you look here, it was and there was a spell near the end of the season where it was just poor. She was just poor. Like, 0 points against Chicago, 6 against Mercury in a win. And by the way, she got benched for Chloe Bibby in this game. If you remember this game here, she got benched for most of this game for Chloe Bibby, or for a large chunks of the game for Chloe Bibby and Dantas. The two of them were playing a lot of the game. Late on in the game, it was Chloe Bibby in the game. Like, we all seem to misremember how Natasha Howard played, because if you look at advanced stats from the season, she looked good because she had a few exceptional games. Unbelievable in the Commissioner's Cup final. Cannot stress that enough. In the Commissioner's Cup final, Natasha Howard was fantastic. Deserving of her MVP. She played great defense on Napheesa Collier, holding feet at 12 points, 6 of 18 in the field, and did not shoot well from the field at all, but finally shot well from the free throw line. This was a Natasha Howard who, up to this point in the year, was, we called her Alyssa Smith 2.0 because she couldn't hit a free throw. Like, if you look at Natasha Howard from the free throw line to start the year, I mean this when I say this. This is Natasha Howard to start the year. 3 for 8, 0 for 4, 1 for 2, 0 for 0, 1 for 2, 1 for 2. It took Natasha Howard 7 games to shoot 50% from the free throw line in a game. And then it took her That was a 7th, or his 8th game, 9th, 10th, 11th. It took her till the 11th game to do it again. Albeit, from then on, she became a pretty okay free throw shooter. She did. She shot the free throw okay. But, like, 71% is not a great percentage from the free throw line by any means. Not awful, but not great. But everybody wants to talk about, people be like, oh, look, we need to bring Natasha Howard back. Look at her, like, look at these advanced stats. Do we watch the games? She traveled 3 times a game. And I'm not even exaggerating. There was a spell where she was traveling 2 to 3 times a game. She shoots every time she touches the ball. She went through a 6-game run where she had 1 total assist. Like, she is the Michael Jordan of Nalissa Smith. She's a better version of Nalissa Smith. The Fever doesn't need a better version of Nalissa Smith. The Fever needs Alana Smith. The Fever needs, the Fever might need Emily Ensler. Like, just anyone who could spread the floor. Because she's just gotten away. Like, I'm losing my damn mind. People saying that they should offer $800K Natasha Howard. I don't think Natasha Howard sucks, by the way. I think she's good. I think she'll cost $800K because I think a team's going to be willing to give her $800K. Because, yes, she did only average 12 points per game last year with the Fever, but she averaged 18 the year before. Natasha Howard hadn't had a year averaging under less than 15 points other than for the Fever. But, like, we are looking at a player who shoots 18% from the three-point line. Who shoots 18%. Who over the last 2 seasons, on nearly 2 attempts per game, is shooting 19% from the three-point line. Who can't shoot, is willing to let it fly despite not being able to shoot. Has had a negative assist-to-turnover ratio every single season of her career. Has had a negative assist-to-turnover ratio. Isn't a great rebounder. Is a mediocre defender at this stage, but is a really good post scorer. I'm sorry, the last thing the Fever needs is a post scorer. We've got Aaliyah Boston. Why would we play Aaliyah Boston with a post scorer? Like, especially a 6'1" post scorer with dwindling athleticism, who chooses to play 14 games a year. Albeit, in 10 of those 14 games where she chooses to put in effort, she'll be exceptional. She'll look like the Natasha Howard of old, but she doesn't have it in her to play 44 games. We saw it last year. She'll be 35 this year. She will be 35. Like, if the Fever pay a near max contract for a 35-year-old Natasha Howard, who showed last year she can't play 44 games, she doesn't fit well with Caitlin's playstyle, she doesn't fit particularly well with Leah Boston, is extremely turnover prone, doesn't really pass the ball, can't shoot. Like, yeah, okay, she had okay plus minus numbers. Well, yeah, no shit. Like, the Fever were good. The Fever were good plus minus wise. The Fever had a lot of 30-point blowouts last year. Of course, their plus minus were going to be good. But we can't look at the Natasha Howard situation and be like, oh, look, the Fever need to keep her. Look at these numbers. And she's going to cost near a max contract. And she's going to be 35 years old. Not only that, she got outplayed in the playoffs by Nalissa Smith. She's 35 years old and she is barely a starter level player right now. She's barely a starter level player. And if the Fever run it back with Natasha Howard, they are conceding that we are going to put a team out that is good but not going to be good enough to win. Because that was the weak point. That was what we were complaining about. A year ago was that Natasha Howard was the weakness. A year ago, everyone was talking about how the Fever no one expected the Caitlin Clark rule to come in, so we thought we had more financial cap space, but everyone was talking about using a max contract in that power forward. Everyone last season, the whole thing people talked about was Natasha Howard. Other than, again, the fantastic Commissioner's Cup game she had. And that's not a knock on Natasha Howard, a person. Because for some reason, women's basketball, if you say a player isn't a good fit, everyone thinks a shot on them as a person. It's not. Natasha Howard, go get paid somewhere else. Go get paid somewhere else. Seems like a lovely person. But unfortunately, just not what the Indiana Fever need. Not even close to being what the Fever need.